when I read the statistic that a state determines how many prisons to build based on third grade reading scores, I knew that if we were going to get the prison population right, we had to get third grade reading scores right. And that's why here in the state of Illinois that it is our goal to make sure that every child is reading at the third grade level by the end of third grade. Also, 1/2 of all Illinois prisoners are high school dropouts. 1/2. So it just seemed to me that it's very easy that if we fix two things, third grade reading and high school dropout rate, we can reduce the prison population. A child who drops out of high school, their earning capacity is decreased by $334,000. So if we want to give children a gift of $334,000, all we have to do is make sure they graduate high school and their earning capacity will be more. So I am honored to be here today. I'm honored to have been thought of as a recipient of an award with the IFI. And if I can do anything to continue to help, I'll be here. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
And thank you, Dr. Smith. Pastor, I want to, before he sits down, some of you may know that he was out of town during our spring awards dinner. So actually, we'd like to take this opportunity right here and now to recognize him as one of our 2018 Honorary Fathers of the Year winners. So there you go, Pastor Nate.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You heard a little about in the video already about the essay contest that IFA sponsors, and I want to just mention a little bit about that. It gives us truly a chance, in the springtime we do this as well, of recognizing our essay contest winners and their fathers or stepfathers, grandfathers, the father figures who have inspired them in their lives. Some of the highlights from this year's essay contest, first of all, there were more than 4,000 submissions, more than 4,000 young people writing essays about these men who were instrumental in their lives. And if I were just to run down some of the schools, and I know there may be some representatives of these schools here today, but De La Salle Institute, for instance, 812 submissions. Rachel Carson Elementary, 777 submissions. That number's spot on, right? Columbia Explorers Academy, 731 submissions. Coolidge Elementary, 362, and Bridgeport Catholic at 206. De La Salle's here, and I know Bridgeport Academy's here as well. They had 2 of the 12 essay finalists. And we are honored today. You're going to hear from one of those essay finalists. In fact, Destiny White from De La Salle. Honoring her 2018 Father Figure of the Year, Anton White. Mr. White also here as well. Destiny.
My uncle, Anton White, is my hero. He encourages me to study hard and to be a good citizen. He is kind, helpful, and always listening to me. He gives me lots of advice and is always there when I need him. He has taken me to father-daughter dances where we have lots of fun, dancing and having a great time. On these occasions, he always brings me a corsage. He often takes me with his daughter, my cousin, to movies, museums, restaurants, and other places of interest. On some weekends, he takes me and his family to a hotel where we spend lots of time at the pool and enjoy room service. These are times that I cherish and have lots of fun with. We enjoy all the amenities that the hotel has to offer, such as free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and flat screen TVs. Last year, we went on a trip to Indianapolis, where we spent time with several relatives. We went sightseeing and enjoyed the people and the city. While we were there, we did some shopping at Kingstone Fashion Mall. We had a meal at the food court and we enjoyed the food. During the summer, we often go to Navy Pier to ride the giant Ferris wheel and to go to IMAX Theater. We stayed for the fireworks during the winter. He has taken me to the Winter Wonder Fest with his daughter. He is a member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, so he often takes me to their picnics. He took me with him on one of his community outreaches as a Mason. We went to a nursing home where we gave the residents fruit baskets and where I got my service hours for school. The residents were very happy to receive them, and I felt great to be helping to do a good deed. He is currently the keeper of records and the seals at Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He recently received the Uplift Award from the fraternity. He's attended all of my important events, and whether it's graduation or other events, I have had several top recitals that he has attended. He always attends my Girl Scout events in the end of the season when I'm moving to a higher troop. He is actively involved in my life, and he is very supportive of me. Anton White was born in Chicago. He attended St. Ethelreda and Clara Barton elementary schools. He graduated from Lindblom Technical High School. He continued his education at Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi, where he received a Bachelor of Arts degree. He majored in political science and criminal justice. He later became a master's in public administration from Illinois Institute of Technology. He served his country by enlisting in the Illinois Army National Guard, where he spent 8 years as a military police officer. During this time, he was deployed to Germany, where he spent almost a year. He joined the Chicago Police Department in 98. He is currently a sergeant with the Chicago Police Department, and he just got off work at 5 o'clock in the morning, so he is a little tired. So he has a family. He is married to Erica White. Erica White, his wife, and that he has an 11-year-old daughter named Amira. And this is my uncle, the #1 man in my life.
I want to say thank you for choosing me out of 4,000 applicants. This has been one, if not the best award I've ever received in my life. I really, really, really appreciate it. I'm out in Chicago continuously doing the work of the community. Lift as we climb. We have to be bridge builders out there. Just because it doesn't affect you personally, doesn't mean that it doesn't affect the community. If I don't help raise my niece, who will? When she becomes older, gets married, I want her to have somebody in her life like me. To make the right decisions, to be a father figure, to be supportive. We have to do a better job of respecting one another. One thing I do recognize, when I go to church, there's always individuals that are either my age or older. That's always been a problem for me, because we're not we've made it. We are all already there. We're all pretty stable. We have to get these young individuals to come and have a pathway, have a support system. Teach them the right way. These young individuals, men and women, are, just because you're not behind four walls in a cell, doesn't mean you're not in prison. Thank you all for this award. I really appreciate it. As Pastor Meek said, if anything needs to be done, I'm only a phone call away. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
You want some inspiration? You got it. Anton, thank you. Destiny, thank you so much for sharing your essay with us. That was wonderful. Thank you. Terrific. And I'm glad you earned your community service hours. Way to go. And I'm glad that you actually entered the force a little bit later than she said, too. Each year we present the IFI Ricky Birdsong Awards to honor a few men in memory of Ricky Birdsong, the former Northwestern University basketball coach who was tragically murdered in a hate crime in July of 1999. And I know Anton has said this already, but I'll tell you what. Every day that goes by and every year that we do this, I'm reminded again and again and again, the voices of good and caring and compassion can overcome those who seek to bring it down.
All right.
It's that simple. And to have Ricky's name attached to this particular award is especially meaningful, and especially at this time, but at any time. Those recognized and receiving this award today, first of all, they have some qualifications, of course. They're good fathers to their children. They make a difference in the lives of young people. They've demonstrated a spiritual dimension in their own lives. So we have two of them today, and our first recipient has made the welfare of children central to his life. His work with Safe Families has provided emergency care for children in crisis. He sits on the board of the Young Men's Education Network, or YMEN, you may be familiar with them in that way, serving 300 children and their families in North Lawndale on the city's west side. His participation in a community baseball league with at-risk boys on the west side has helped build up players and their self-esteem. It's helped to create a positive teamwork atmosphere, and honestly just spending time listening and investing in youth that unfortunately sometimes are so often ignored by adults. Utilizing his professional skills for the good of the community provided YMEN with sound financial advice as the organization addresses needs in the areas of retirement, workers' compensation, life insurance. And throughout his leadership, he's helped to double the general operating budget of YMEN and expand its programs from serving 100 young people to 300 young people every year. YMEN's additional capacity has helped a greater number of young people attend college. Many of these local leaders then, what are they doing? They're coming back to their own community, and they are reinvesting themselves in North Lawndale. So would you please join me today in congratulating Mr. Toby Eng.
I am in way over my head. We got started with Alan, right? We got Pastor Meeks, we got the superintendent, and most impressive, Destiny, Anton. So I'm in way over my head. So I'm gonna have some notes here if I can share, bear with me. But thank you so much for this wonderful honor. I love being a father, and there are some special people I want to honor. The very first is my wife, Cassie. She is the love of my life, and almost 14 years ago when I proposed, I read Proverbs 31 to her. And she is even more of that today than when I proposed 14 years ago. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. I feel like Pastor Beeks right now. Cassie is the reason. Cassie is the reason our home is the way it is. Thank you for being my partner in life. Secondly is my dad, my father, Mark. He is the most caring, gentle, loving person I've ever met. He makes you feel secure, and he's a powerful role model to me. What's amazing is that he's never met his dad, and so his dad passed before he was ever able to meet him. And he chose to be engaged, he chose to be present. I've never heard him complain a day in his life. So thank you, Dad. And if I could, I told this to Cassie, I'd hand this award right over to him. So. Third is my Heavenly Father. Everything centers around being loved by Him. I feel His unconditional love, and because of this, I extend it to people around me. Another passage, this is from 1 John 4. This is love, not that we loved God, but that He loved us, and He sent His Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us, and His love is made complete in us. Lastly, I want to talk and share about my journey into fatherhood. And it actually started with a special couple, Mark, that's my dad, Mike and Karen Trout. He's in the back. He was the Ricky Birdsong Award winner last year. And so many years ago, before we ever had children, I saw him and his wife Karen be father and mother to so many people in the community. And he made something that seemed so outrageous to me beforehand seem possible. And to open up our home and get involved with Safe Families for Children, as Alan has shared about, an organization extremely important to us. And also to Wyman. Wyman is an amazing organization in North Lawndale. And there's some students that are here representing. So thank you, Mike, for that inspiration. There's also some close friends and mentors. Sam Shellhammer, him and his wife have done our pre-marriage counseling 14 years ago and have meant so much in our life. Corey, my colleague and friend. So thank you for being here. Lastly, I'd like to say thank you to my kids. So 2 of them are here, my 2 favorite ones. Isabel, my second, and Ariel, who's making funny faces at me and taking pictures. But Coco, Lori, Isabel, Stella, and Kingston, thank you so much for letting me be your dad and forgiving me when I fail so often. Thank you.